2000, Rosenberg and Tory Lanez. I like this guy. Give it up for him.
Fargo.
Yo, listen, Tory Lanez from Toronto.
Yeah.
Do you feel like everybody knows the Tory Lanez story? Because there's people right now who are just now hearing the song.
Yeah, of course. I'm well aware that this is fairly new to a lot of people. Yeah, so I know.
How do you want to start? You want to talk about how you came up in the whole hip hop thing? Because I'll start at the beginning. I think your story is great.
73, the Bronx.
Wherever you would like to start from.
I was born in the year 2000. Never heard hip hop before. Was homeless for a long time.
He's only 15 now, though.
He's only 15
y'all
right
are playing
now.
with me, right?
What a hell of a run you had.
No, but the homeless part of your story is a real thing.
Yes, definitely. I definitely had times when I was about like 14 or 15 at the time when I was homeless. And it was only because I was a really rebellious child, and I was supposed to be living with my grandma, but she kicked me out the crib because she didn't want me living there.
And just because you wouldn't listen.
I was just, I had problems.
But we had a conversation before, but you talk a lot about, and you're very introspective even in your music.
Of course.
You talk a lot about the anger that you had because of things that were going on with your mom and dad.
Of course. Well, my mom passed away when I was 11 years old. So when she passed away, I kind of had this attitude towards life, like, no one could tell me nothing, you're not my mom. And like that took me to wherever it took me, you know what I'm saying? Like she died when I was in 5th grade, from 6th grade until I dropped out in 11th grade. I was going to school and I got expelled. Literally on my record, I'm expelled from every school I went to up until I dropped out. And I moved around a lot. But that was just because I had a very, a lack of respect for authority, It's just, I guess I was trying to deal with.
Well, no, you just never had authority. Like you didn't have authority figures that you respected, and that's what a lot of young people go through today with. Not having fathers in the home, or their parents not actually being parents. They've never dealt with authority.
Definitely.
They get into school, high school, out here dealing with cops or whatever, and somebody in an authority position tells them to do something. They immediately like, yo, I don't have to listen to you.
Yeah, no, and thing about it is like when you have that in your soul, and it's like you ride with that, it you go wherever that should take you, and
yeah, go ahead, you go.
All right, cool. I didn't want to be cursing.
But that was a really interesting point you were making, though. When you have that idea of no one can tell you anything, I'm just out for me, like I'm gonna do me.
Yeah,
it can take you down a road you don't even plan on going on.
Yeah, and whether that road is for the better or the worse, you're gonna go down, wherever it takes you, because that attitude it's a reckless attitude. It's not really good at all, unless you know how to channel it and use it for the positive.
And so where did it take you from getting expelled in school, grandma kicks you out?
I got in a couple situations that I'd rather not talk about on air, but it still shaped me to be who I am. That's one thing I gotta respect about that whole time of my life, because without that, I wouldn't have this give a fuck attitude even about the music. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things for me where, that kind of in a weird way just shaped me. It kind of made me think the way I think, and it kind of made me look at people the way I look at people, and it made me move a little bit more militant than the average dude that's at my age, because I know more, I've been through more, I seen more, yeah.
So there was a point though, and in your story, as you get to now, you're doing beats for cats, right? You had told me like you used to just be on the block, just like, here's my CD, take my CD, here's my CD, take my CD.
I'm a baby of the mixtape sales. I'm one of those dudes that everybody in Toronto knows me because of that. I was in front of every mall, every TTC. TTC is like the subway kind of in Toronto. I was in front of the TTCs in the mall, Scarborough Town Center, and then I was in Mississauga, then I was downtown.
You Scarborough Town Center?
Yeah, I would go everywhere.
You guys want to know something about Scarborough Town Center?
What?
It is...
Repug?
Repug. Yeah, it's pretty bad.
That means it's not good.
I mean, Scarborough's a little rough.
But when it comes to production, though, you were slinging beats, but were you self-taught?
What do you mean?
Did somebody take you under the wing?
No, I wasn't slinging beats. This was my music.
Just music.
Okay,
yeah, this was my music at the time. I wasn't making beats at this time. I was probably about 17 years old.
Just rhyming.
I was stealing them from SoundClick.
Oh, okay, you're just taking everybody else's beats.
I was stealing. I was robbing. I was out there audio hijacking everything.
Did you end up? So you're bouncing from Scarborough to Mississauga, all these places. Is it effective?
It's not effective for me because I'm doing this every single day. I'm going to a different mall every day. I'm getting kicked out the mall by the end of the night for soliciting every day, and then I can't go there because it's a little hot. I go to some other, and then I just I kept bouncing around, and people knew me because I was so energetic about it. I felt like no matter what, like I'm gonna get this music out to you. I'm gonna make you buy this.
And you made people buy it.
I had the guy in Times Square.
I was just gonna tell you that.
I wouldn't have been able to stand
you. You don't like hip hop? In Times Square in New York, somebody walk away and be like, "Yo, Ebro, you don't like hip hop." What are you talking about?
No, the best part is
buy my CD.
The best part is
my man.
The best part is Ebro. Those guys in Times Square, keep it real. Half of them don't even know you're Ebro. They just want you. It's that to everyone.
No, and they'll even hit you like, "You don't like black people?"
Whoa.
I'm like, whoa. No, I just don't want to buy your CD. I'm not even interested.
Now, are you a little nicer in Canada? Are you like, hey, I want to talk to you about my music, and maybe you'll buy it and think about it?
Are you aggressive?
As a businessman, I'm always aggressive, no matter what I'm doing.
So give us your approach if you had your CD right now.
I can't remember the exact words. I had an actual speech for this, but I used to come up to you and be like, yo, I promise you, I'm about to break through the industry right now. I promise on everything I love. If I can't change your mind about how you feel about hip hop music in general in the next 10 to 30 seconds by me spitting or singing right now, then you can walk away, bro. And I'll leave you alone. I won't,
and then what would you do?
I won't bother you
and then
when you
like,
come back out. They'll always let me spit. The second you let me spit or sing, because I would, and I'd be like, you want to hear me sing? You know what I'm saying? And it was a thing, like they felt
obligated.
That. And it's like, when you just like, sometimes I don't even know if I got the sale just because maybe they thought I was talented. Sometimes I just got the sale just off of sheer, like, I'm so hungry for this. Like, you have to believe in me.
They appreciated,
you know what I'm saying? Like, and they appreciated that. So,
and so when did you? Because the first time we started hearing your name, I think you had did a beat for somebody. Or you was on a verse that you had did a beat for. Was that a Meek Mill project or something like that? Was the first time I heard you?
If you're talking about Lord Knows,
yeah,
then I mean, if that's the first time you ever heard Tory, then
that was the first time I heard your name.
Me and Play Picasso did that beat, and I'm also on the hook.
Got it. But before that, how did you get that look? Like, what was the?
Oh well, Meek has been a big supporter of the music for a long time. He's one of the people that like I would send hooks to back in the day, and he would show like a lot of people, a lot of important people, and a lot of buzz would come from him just being popping and being in the studio and being like, yo, this is young dude from Canada and he's crazy.
Nice, that's it.
You know what I'm saying? And that was that kind of led me to doing Dream Chasers 3. And after Dream Chasers 3, I had a couple of hooks that I had for that I wanted to give him for the album. And Lord Knows was like a song that I actually did, but it was like a throwaway at the time. For me, I didn't really like the song. So then I was like, yo, Meek probably, he'll probably want this more than I will. So I was like, I gave the song to my man Kels. Originally, it wasn't even supposed to go to Meek. I just gave it to Kels because I was like, it's whatever. And Kels was like, nah, they need it more than I need it. So he gave it to Tok, and from then on,
boom.
Yeah.
And so now, I mean, the way we hear the story a lot of times, us radio people, everything in Toronto is pretty OVO Drake, right? Like The Weeknd, da-da-da-da. How come you never went in that route? Or did you go that route?
No, I never went that route. I just did my own thing. I was just one of those guys that I think a lot of the things that happened in the city are because a lot of things were going on in the city at a certain time, but I wasn't there when certain things was going on. I had left, and I went to America to pursue what I was doing, and
grind and hustle.
I wasn't really, I wasn't really out there like that. But even if so, I was just doing my own thing, and that's about it.
Do you?
I got my own team.
Are you still writing songs for other people now? Are you
always.
still doing that? Oh, that's always part of your thing.
Yes, I've always been ghostwriting, and I've always been, some of the hottest hooks that I think are really hot that I've done. And I may have not got credit for it, but.
Well, that ghostwriting thing definitely got hot this year, didn't it?
Yeah, I guess.
But do you hide who you write for, or is it
I don't think it got hot this year. I think it's been hot forever.
Well, no, meaning it became a
conversation
piece.
Piece.
Inside the business that there's a lot of people who write songs for other people. But when Meek called Drake out, it became like was like, why is this happening?
I don't think it became anything. I think ghostwriting is ghostwriting. It's been what's been happening for years.
Mm-hmm.
But Tory, are you open about who you write for? Or it's like, is it?
I don't like to blow anybody's spot up. I don't know if I don't have conversations with these artists like, yo, I'm gonna go say, I mean, if you look at credits, don't get me wrong, like my legal situation is always right.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Shout to Paul Rothenberg. True through the case. Nah, but my legal situation is always right, so you know I'm always on the credits and always on if it's like albums and stuff like that. You know, more people just need to look at albums. Look at how many, you know, writers are on songs on some of these albums. Yeah. It's a lot of writers, like, you know.
Are you, and so now your project, I mean, you got this song, it's turned out to be a real big hit, Say It.
Yes.
The 90s Brownstone sample, obviously, if you came up in the 90s, that attracts you to the song right away, like, yo, who's this using this record? Yeah. But then what you did with the song, obviously, you used it well, right? Like, you do your own singing, your own rhyming, you had your own story on it, right? Yeah. Is that what a lot of your music on your project will sound like, where you're using 90s samples, or is that just...
The funny thing about that record was I never heard the record before I did it.
So you never heard Brownstone before?
No, I've heard him now, but I've never heard that song from before I did that record. I went in the studio with Pop Wenzel, and it was the first time, because I just got signed to Interscope. It was the first session that they ever put me in, and they put me in a session with a dude named Pop Wenzel, and he started working on the sample at the starting, and I heard the dun, 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 and it sounded like, it kind of made me feel like the feeling of like Shorty Swinging My Way, or like I Want to Be Your Lady by, what was her name? Anaj? That was her name?
Oh, I Know Jay.
Oh, that, see the
Joni.
Yeah, I didn't know. I always call her Enaj because I don't know how to.
That was my boo,
yeah,
right?
Yeah. And that, like that kind of sound was what attracted me to the song. And then he started playing around with the sample and just going, say it, prove it. And I didn't even know he had those pieces cut up. And once he started playing with it, I put on the Jigga face. And I was like, I want you to just put this in like this. The beat wasn't fully done. It wasn't whatever. And I freestyled it because, you know, I don't take time.
So you go in and you hum your melody, and then you put the words to your melody, and then you figure it out.
It's not really that long, but yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So you're saying it's even shorter than that?
It's very short.
Really? Because a lot of people say, I don't write, when really they write in their head, just not on a piece of paper. Well, you're saying it really comes out more like a freestyle.
Because the thing about me is like every take is different. Like if it don't go right this take, it's gonna change the next take, and it's gonna be completely different.
But will you sometimes put those takes together?
What do you mean?
Like if you do one take where you say blah 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 blah,
take this measure here, take that measure there.
Nah. Because I'm one of those guys. I have to work from the top of the song to the end of the song. I can't work and put something in the end because it's good, and then put something in the starting because no, I have to work and make sure that it's perfected from this side to this side. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like I'm a perfectionist with it. Like I don't.
What is your name your government name?
No.
It's a made-up name.
Yeah.
Like it's a rap name.
Yeah.
So that was my only issue I have with Tory Lanez. Is that the first 10 times I heard the name Tory Lanez,
you thought of a porn star.
I thought of a porn star.
Oh, yeah?
Of course.
And there's a porn star with like a similar name, and I don't know, because the name Tory...
I'm trying to meet her. I just want to say what up to her.
So there is one...
You know we got the same name, right?
That's going to be his G.
By the way, I got news for you. You're probably already at a point where it wouldn't take that much. Like, your song's blowing up right now, and you have the same name. That's it. It's a rap. She's porn star. I mean, I love porn stars, but they're generally...
Do you want to just meet, or do you want to fuck? Like, that's different.
I just want to meet her. I saw Tory Lanez. She's a dirty drink. I ain't trying to...
I mean,
she's a porn star, though. She's supposed to... I'm supposed to say that about her. If I met her in life...
But there's something you'd want to.
If I was gonna fuck her, I'd fuck her like the dirty bitch. Like, you know what I'm saying? I fuck her like a dirty bitch. I mean,
that's how she likes it.
I'm a dogger. Like that's. But if I watch porno, I don't know about y'all. I watch.
You're a
porno.
fan.
You feel me?
Timberlands. Are you a Timberlands on or Timberlands off kind of dude?
Nah, I don't want my shoes on. Only time if I'm ever fucking or some crazy shit, I'm not fucking with my
You don't need that
on.
extra grip when you dig, like when you on the couch and you gotta dig.
Bro, hold on.
It's a weird specific.
Yo, by the way,
like when you on the couch and you gotta dig.
Like, you gotta dig.
Nah, but
what does she look like? I'm curious.
No, I'm not at there yet. I'm looking at.
She's the thing about it is she's like a MILF. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
she's a little older.
Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, don't get me wrong. Like, if I was back in my rugged wild days and she was like a little younger, like, I'd probably fuck.
Now, real quick,
fucking right now. Don't lie to me.
Nah, I had to. The thing about it is, man, I'm at this place with
You're saving yourself for marriage, right?
Hell no.
Trying to be.
It ain't even
saving
one of those.
myself.
I'm just at a place with these females right now. It's like the same way y'all got standards, I got standards too. Like I really feel like I really feel like
you've had enough in your life to where you don't have to go for everything.
Not even like that. I just feel like Paul, no, I feel like I'm beautiful. Like dead ass, my nigga. Like I feel like I'm so beautiful. Like I'm gorgeous. Like I feel like, you know, like in order for me to really take it there with you, like you gotta deserve that, like from me.
Talk your shit.
That's just how I feel.
That is an amazing line.
I'm allowed to feel that.
You
way.
are. You should. And I'm glad. I hope a lot of other men are influenced by this.
Confident young man.
Now, Tory has done one of those things in rap that always find one of the most entertaining things. He came up with the name Tory Lanez. It's a totally fine name, right? I had the porn star thing, but it's totally fine. But your government name is ridiculous. Why wouldn't that just be your name? Do you know what this man's government name is?
What
At least according to Wikipedia, unless your Wikipedia is a liar.
Nah, it's true.
Go ahead.
His name is...
Don't mispronounce it.
I'm not. I'm looking
like,
again because it's so good. Daystar Peterson. Your name's Daystar?
Yes, sir.
That's your government. That's not your rap name? Daystar?
Where my Canadian passport at? Hold on.
Like, why wouldn't you just go with Daystar's crazy?
Hold on, I got my passport right
now.
here.
Here's the thing: does he go with Daystar P or just Daystar?
Daystar Peterson, July 27th, 1992.
Yeah.
Born in Toronto.
But why would it be Daystar?
Yo, Tory Lanez here feeling himself so crazy.
Daystar. I call him Daystar,
bro. This is
bro.
why I didn't use that name. It was one of those things. Somebody, I think it was Scooter Braun, told me this a long time ago. He was like, the only thing about using your real name is that it can make you go crazy. You know, as an artist, sometimes you don't want the world calling you by your real name and everybody. Sometimes you need that one person to come to you when everyone's calling you Tory and be like, yo, Daystar, you fucking up right now. You know what I'm saying?
Because that hits you in your spirit.
Yeah, because you know this person, like, and my thing is just like, that kind of differentiates how I know certain people, like, because a lot of people be like, yeah, you know me day one. If you really knew me from back then you know me as Daystar. You know me as my real name. You know what I'm saying? I was a bad little jit. Like, you know me as Daystar. If you know me from like when I was a teenager and I started being reckless and stuff, then you know me as just Lanez. You know what I'm saying? But so I just didn't want to go crazy.
Where did Tory come from?
Okay, the whole story of my name is like this. Originally, I had Lanez first. I moved to Atlanta, and there was a janitor in our community, and he would give all the kids nicknames in our community. And I was one of them kids. I used to run through the street. I used to skateboard. I used to do all kinds of crazy shit. I was a kid. And basically, he called me Lanez. And when I got a little older and I wanted to start rapping, I wanted people to call me Notorious, like after Notorious B.I.G. But they didn't call me Notorious. They took the Tory from Notorious and just called me Tory. So I took the Tory and the Lanez and I put it together.
How's that?
I'm fine with that.
Now, when did you go to Atlanta?
I was there when I was probably like, I want to say 12.
And then you spent the rest of your teenage years there too?
No. I was only in Atlanta for like a year.
Oh, okay.
You had family there?
No, my dad's a missionary preacher, so he was moving out there to do, the Lord's work.
So you moved around with your father?
Right after Atlanta, I was going though. I moved by myself.
Where did you move to?
I lived out here actually. I lived in Long Island for a long while.
By yourself?
No, I had an aunt out there.
Why'd you go out there though? You were a kid.
My dad couldn't. He couldn't handle me.
Because he wanted to. He's a badass kid.
I know.
Because I was like right. Because I was like, remember, my mom died when I was 11. So like 12 years old, 13. That's when I was really bad. Like that's when I gave no fucks. Like when I got a little older, I started to understand a little bit more. And when I left my pops and when I had to learn certain things by myself is when I started getting a little bit more mature and I understood a little bit more. But I was still, rebellious towards and defiant towards authority.
How did your mom pass away?
She was anemic actually, and it caused her to get this very rare disease that like only 4 out of 1 million get a year. And she passed away. Like one day she was sick. I went to school in the morning. I came back and she was dead. So it was like.
And you're like 11 years old.
Yeah, I was 11. But the only thing that I will say about her passing away, besides the fact that it inspired me, I guess, to express my feelings, through music. The only thing I will say is the disease that she died with no pain. Like it's a disease where like she fell asleep and just.
What's the name of the disease? You don't remember?
I was young. I just knew she was
complications from anemia.
Yeah. How's your relationship with your father now?
It's really good. I always talk to my dad. Actually, my dad's in Toronto right now. I was supposed to go see him, but I'm gonna see him soon. So
he's being a superstar.
I just gotta go handle what I gotta handle as a man.
Do you ever just call your dad and he's like, hey, Daystar, and he's like, how you doing? You're like, I'm beautiful. I got standards now. No, Dad, I'm beautiful.
It's an honor for these women to have a chance with me.
I mean, at the end of the day, I feel like, man, as guys, we supposed to be confident, and confidence takes you a long way. So. I don't call my dad and be like, Dad, I'm beautiful. But my dad knows that I'm a confident dude because my dad is a confident dude.
Got it.
You feel me? So that's where.
Well, I'll tell you what. Speaking of being beautiful, you are certainly the prettiest girl at the dance right now. Tori's been very over the last few months. When you say industry-wise, you are
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Well, I think it too. For those of you watching this interview, as you can see, he's got an interesting story. Right? He's a hard worker, and when he walks into a room, he's not afraid to speak to people and just be a cool motherfucker. You're not. Anytime I've ever been out with you, seen you around, you're not one of these artists that's trying so hard to be something that you put off this ego attitude you can't just have a good time. Anytime we out, you always having a good time.
I don't like that. I think the thing about artists is a lot of artists, they get on by chance. So they don't, it wasn't written in the book, so they don't come in the game with real stories and real things. And I think a lot of times, artists feel like because I don't have this hoodness or this whatever it is about me that maybe this artist does, I gotta kind of
act it out.
You know what I'm saying? But the thing about acting it out is that, it's always gonna bust. There's gonna be a time when it busts. If it's not real, it's not organic, something will always bring it to the light. That's just life. You know what I'm saying? That's how life works. And at the end of the day, I'm too happy of a guy to be out here mad at the world and moving like this. And when people say hi to me, I can't say hi back. Who the fuck? Bro, I'm happy that you even give a fuck to say hi to me. So I'm some not shit nigga from Toronto, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? I feel like at the end of the day, bro, I'm glad. I'm happy. I'm honored that somebody even wants to say, yo, good job. How many people would just want to pat on the back?
Oh my God!
You know what I'm saying?
Yo, bro, if you remember, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you remember that, you will be better than 99.9% of artists.
I mean,
if you can remember that, there are people out there who just wish someone would be like, "Yo, I like your song." You have people "Can I work with you? Can I interview you?" I mean, you have that's great that you appreciate that.
I mean, you'd be surprised how many artists won't work with me though.
Oh, really? Oh, because they don't want to get body?
I guess not.
Well, that'll happen too.
I wouldn't just call it that, or maybe it's just I just don't want to
put him on yet. He ain't earned that slot yet. It'll come.
But I don't think it's he didn't earn the slot. I think it's I don't want to put him on. He might surpass
Get bigger than me.
Take my spot. That's by the way, I've seen that many times. How long have you? But it sounds like you've been working for a while. How long have you been working?
A long time.
How long have you been dedicated to pushing this thing forward?
Really, to be honest with you, I started really taking my craft seriously and trying to push myself with the mixtapes and everything. I was about 16 to 17 that time, and I just went from there. I recorded myself. I had Cubase and a little mic in my little storage room. I used to sleep in there. It was the half of this room. It was how it was, and the booth was over here, and the rest was a little square, little box, a little jump. But I used to get it popping in there.
How long ago was that? How old are you now?
I am 23 right now. I'm sorry, sometimes I forget how old I am.
So 7 years you've been going pretty hard at it.
Yeah, definitely.
Good for you, man.
Well, look, let's play the song for the people. I'm sure we're gonna be seeing you a lot.
Most definitely.
Is there a name of the album that's on the way? Have we gotten to that point for you?
No, I'm still in the creative process of the album, but I can say that the album is very classic.
In a musical
you see
sense,
how you feel,
in a hip hop sense,
you see how you feel. You see the feeling you get when you hear "Say It." It's that feeling of just when you hear a refreshing sound that still brings you back to something, or takes you away somewhere.
Soulful.
I wouldn't just say soulful because it's a little, I don't know, it's just different, but it's so classic.
Okay. Fair enough. Do you have a name?
Not yet.
So all we know right now is the single Say It. We got this whole story.
Yes.
And we have a single.
Yes.
That's it.
That's all you have right now. I mean, there's a lot of other things that you can go and check, because Say It's not my first song.
Well, right, you have a, but I'm just saying moving forward.
But it's moving forward. Right now, all we've released really that we know for a fact is on the album is Say It. You know, but there's a multitude of things we could have picked from.
Yo, give it up for this guy, Tory Lanez, right now. Check out his record, Say It. It's Hot 97.
J-Star.
Yeah.